What's going on, y'all? Flicking off episode 11. Oh my god. Uh this is wild. We're going to be getting into Jason Bateman's directorial debut. This movie is a favorite of mine, and I got a little funny story to tell y'all about it, but it's Bad Words, starring Jason Bateman. But before we get into that, guys, we lost a giant recently by the name of Diane Keaton. She passed away October 11th last week. Um, she wasn't just an actress, she was a full-blown vibe, from The Godfather to Annie Hall to Something's Gotta Give. She could jump from one heartbreak to a hilarity without missing a beat. She made awkward cool. She made hats iconic and somehow made being yourself like a cool thing. Um, what's crazy is early on she turned down roles that would ask her to get naked, only to then do a scene in the movie Something's Gotta Give, full frontal. That's totally Diane Keaton right there. Do it when it feels right and make it mean something. And I had to shout her out today because beyond all the movies, she was a mom. She adopted 2 kids, Dexter and Duke. Condolences to them, condolences to her friends and family. And we love you, Diane. We're going to miss you. And we just wanted to show you some love on the show. This episode will be dedicated to her. Yeah, I mean, I was shocked when you had told me that, Jacob. That was it's pretty crazy because I didn't even know she was sick, to be honest. I knew she was old, but Al
Yeah, I
Pacino's
know.
81 and still having kids. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Sometimes you hear about somebody and they're old and you're like, okay, it makes sense. But this one did seem like it came out of left field for sure. She was 79 years old. She has 289 credits on IMDb between her acting roles, directing, producing, all kinds of stuff. You mentioned some of the great films already. I think I wanted to personally shout out The Family Stone. That's a great movie. Um, she was a frequent collaborator with Woody Allen. She had several nominations, and she won the Oscar for Annie Hall. So
she did. And
again,
she was nominated for it 3 more times. The same Oscar she won. She was nominated, didn't win, but I
yeah,
think she was also nominated for Something's Gotta Give as well.
okay.
Um, she's brilliant, man. I mean, she was a great actress, and I think the movie you're talking about is that the one with the girl from Sex and the City that comes for the family.
Me and my wife have seen it, and we remembered really liking it, but we watched it like a year or two
Years
after it
ago.
came out. It's been years ago, so I really
Yeah.
can't remember. I just remember we watched it, and it
I
was
think
one we
that's the movie
enjoyed.
you're talking about. It's when this guy brings home this like rich woman to their family and he wants to give Diane Keaton's ring to her, and Diane's like, I don't know, like she had some really good roles, but I think Reds, and I even read that she said in an interview that was the hardest role for her to ever do on film. But I just love that movie so much. And get this, guys, the trailer was 4 minutes for this movie. Can you imagine watching a trailer for 4 minutes in the theater? Like, please stop. But
That's too
that's the
much.
whole
Like
movie.
exactly,
You get
yeah.
the whole
Like
damn movie in a trailer. But you know, really sweet person. And just, from reading all of the memoirs and, you know, since she passed, a lot of people have came out and been vocal about like their time together. She just seemed like a really good person. And she's never been married, I don't think. I thought that
yeah.
was another interesting fact. Um, but yeah, you will be
I
missed,
didn't read
Diane.
that, but that's interesting. That's very interesting. You
Yeah, I
will
don't
be
think she was
missed.
ever married, man. She was in really renowned relationships, like with another big person, but
Yeah.
never been married. And she adopted Dexter and Duke. Dexter's her daughter, and Duke is her son. Um, I don't know their full names, but condolences to them. I'm sure they're going through a tough time right now. But yeah, uh, fuck all
So
that sad shit.
how did you link Bad Words to
So I linked Bad Words. This is a funny story, guys. So for everybody following the podcast, like me and Jacob really think about the films that we want to link, and we each get a turn. So we're basically like taking turns. But the way we link it is however the fuck we want. But there has to be a link. It can't be like, oh, well, this movie was almost the same or same premise, same plot. No, it has to be same director, same actors, whether they were in it for a second or they were in it for the whole movie. And um, I had picked a previous movie and we were rolling with that for 5 days. And, we're a new podcast. We're trying to get more people to subscribe. And I just felt like the weight of the choice I had before Bad Words was just too much for the show right now. And the only real reason I love that movie that I chose previously was deeply embedded in like my own personal struggles right now. And I didn't want to get that vulnerable on camera. So I called Jacob, I want to say a day before or the day of, where he was about to sit down and watch the movie for the podcast. I didn't, I thought he was going to have an issue with it, but he totally like embraced it. He said it was cool. He watched it. You said you loved it. And
Yeah.
then uh you got to choose a different link because we couldn't link the one
Yes.
because we've already got we're 3 weeks ahead, guys. So it's like, you know, but anyways, it worked out. We already got the next link. I think y'all guys are gonna love that one too. But the way I linked Bad Words to Downsizing is the same composer, which God, I don't even got his fucking name in front of me right now. Uh
Did write down something about how I thought the score sounded because that was your link.
yeah,
So,
so Rolf Kent is his name. He did Bad Words and he did Downsizing, and he also did Sideways, so that makes sense, the
okay.
whole Alexander Payne thing, and,
Yeah, I wrote the score has heart and drama with a playful tone. It's got these moments where when it's supposed to make you feel, it's making you feel, but then it's sort of got this like little playful streak to it. It's a little fun. So that's cool. I'm glad that was your link. Like,
and, Rolf Kent, Jason Bateman told him, he said, "Make it sound like somebody's trying really hard not to laugh." That's what he told
yeah.
him when he was doing, he used a lot of dry percussion and muted brass. He also used, B-Boys in the City by Beastie Boys for when him
Yes.
and I thought that was a really great pull.
Yeah, I even wrote down like one of my notes is like when I was just going through it, it was like the Beastie Boys montage was what I called it. Cause
Right.
like, yeah,
That's a song that like only a Beastie Boys fan would appreciate. And I think Jason Bateman has spoke on he is a Beastie Boys fan before. So I think that was Rolf's like little wink at him. But yeah, guys, for those that don't know Jason Bateman, I mean, watch more of us. We'll help you. You need help. I mean, Jason Bateman is probably one of my favorite actors in the game now. One of my favorite shows of all time is Ozark. Love that series. I think he actually directed some of those seasons, if not all of them. Um, he's uh he's great. He was in Arrested Development. That's where he
yes,
first really took
that's
off.
yeah,
Everybody knows him from that. He's done a lot of great stuff. He's been in a lot of great movies. And this one for me was this movie truly made me go to therapy. The first time I ever sought therapy for myself was after watching this, and it was because of the way they filmed this protagonist as someone who is truly unlikable. And he said a lot of things the way I say things, unfiltered, raw, not thinking about the aftermath. And to see had the movie kind of shows you there's this scene where like he's watching uh that kid sleep, Shatanya's character, and that's when the movie goes, oh, he's hiding something behind all of these bad words. He's in pain. Like, and when I saw that scene, no dialogue, but it made me think, like, bro, that's why I am the way I am. Is like I'm using crazy outlandish remarks as a way to mask how I'm feeling. And sure enough, dude, the first time I ever saw this movie was in a hotel while I was sleeping with this chick. When I was in the army watching this on Netflix when it had came out in Netflix on 2016. But yeah, no, I this film, not only was it hilarious and it ended up being one of my favorite films of all time, it did something to me. It made me look at me. It made me look at myself in the mirror. And yeah, man, I started going to therapy on telehealth via the VA for about 3 or 4 years. But and I can honestly say it's because of this movie I've been told, uh, because they always ask you, why are you here? I was like, well, I saw this movie and I explained it to her, and she was like, she's like, well, at least you're here, like
Yeah.
that. Like, she's like, that's not the most common way to, introduce yourself to therapy. But no, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful film, man. It's this protagonist who's the most unlikable protagonist throughout the entire film, and it slowly peels back the layers, and you start to root for him in the end.
Yeah.
But
Even early on when, like, if you're wondering, like, I think there's a lot of the scenes that, like, one movie I kept going back to in my mind in a way was Bad Santa.
yeah,
Like,
it's
this
got that
tone of,
vibe.
like, it's got a little bit of that vibe going on to it, but in a darker way, like, in
And
also in not in as like, even though he does say some crude stuff, it's
oh, I
not
got
like
some of the stuff that he
it's
said,
not it's
guys.
not
It's
it's
like
it's not the same as, like, Bad Santa's going for shock value. This movie isn't just trying to say, "Oh, we're gonna say bad stuff just for shock value." It's really not. It's just
it's
this
not.
guy saying it. Like, it works. It works. And one thing I wanna throw out there for our audience, because I hadn't told you this either, was, I thought I had seen this. I told you when we talked that I had
Yeah, you
seen it.
did.
We had not. My wife and I
Wow,
sat
okay.
down to watch it, and we were about 20 minutes in, and my wife was like, "I don't think we've seen this." And I was like, "No, I don't think we have."
Well, that
So,
makes me feel better
I
that
I I was really we both were like, "That wasn't that bad." I mean, it definitely, I don't think for me, rose to the heights that it probably hit you on that level, but, like, it was
well,
better
come
than
on, man.
I
I
thought
am
it was
Guy
gonna be.
Trilby. Like fucking
Yeah.
I related with that character so much, and I know some people fall in love with films because of that. Like they'll resonate with a character so much or what that character's experiencing. And
Yeah.
dude, I resonated with everything that this dude was going through. I mean, uh it hit on a lot. And again, it made me look at myself in a very different light. It made me truly understand. It helped me understand or want to understand more about why I was the way I was. Because just watch the movies, guys. Again, we're gonna
Yeah.
spoil the shit out of this shit. So if you haven't seen the movie, guys, it's on Amazon Prime right now for free. Um, Loving these picks recently because they've all the last couple three have been on platforms we could just go and fucking buy them at.
I was just gonna say, I think for our audience who doesn't know, the basic plot of this movie is just you've got a guy played by Justin Bateman. His name is Guy Trilby, and he is going to spelling bees. He's found a loophole in the rules, and he's trying to win as an adult, and he's telling off little kids in the process. So that's the gist of this movie.
And guys, if you haven't seen a spelling bee on ESPN in the last couple of years, I don't know if it's every single year. I didn't look into that, but it's so intense. It's
Yeah.
like you see just like how embedded the families are into this whole thing, and
Yes.
there's like people screaming in the back when they get it right. There's a shock. It's crazy to see kids subjected to this crazy fucking shit, man, because it's
Yeah.
not just about the kids. Clearly, you get that from the beginning of the competition to the
Yeah.
end. Um, but yeah, no, let's get into the history of this film a little bit because
Okay.
I was a little shocked about, you know, a lot of the things that I read. And one of the things that I found out that I had never known was that this screenplay was written by a complete unknown in Hollywood. His name's Andrew Dodge. Um, and he was a complete and utter nobody. He had wrote this script because he had saw how intense these spelling bees were, and he wanted to see what a grown up thrown into this situation would do. And I thought it was brilliant. Um, the script was so there was so much controversy surrounding the script, and we're going to get into that too, guys, because the main character portrayed by Jason Bateman says a lot of crazy shit to children. Um,
Yeah.
so much so, in fact, that the actor, God, let me pull up the movie real quick because the kid's name
One thing I heard too was that they did really good with shielding the kids from some
they
of the
did. I was
more
going to bring that
obscene
up. That's what
stuff
I
and,
meant.
like, the way they cut and edited things and, you
They would
know,
take you even saw it when they filmed, like, when he was talking to the kid and he was saying, like, ridiculous shit, like, it would just pan to his face and you wouldn't see
yeah.
anybody else in it. But I read that the the reason they did that was because his parents would not like they he got the part and then the parents read the part and were like, "Oh no, like we can't have this." Like, and Jason Bateman said that he was the only kid that when he was talking shit to him and he would talk shit back to him, he still kept a innocence in his presence. Like,
That's really cool. That's
and
really
I thought
cool.
that was cool. And he did, like, when you watch this movie, you do see hold on, let me look up his name. I got it right here. You see Rowan Chan is his name, and he plays a character by the name of Chaitanya uh
Chandra. Chopra, that's right,
Chopra.
yeah.
And guys, the whole time, like, when these characters meet in the movie, like, Jason Bateman is saying a lot of Indian insults because he is of Indian descent. And it
Oh,
was
yeah,
just,
this is
oh man, I
like
got them all written
it's
down.
un-PC
Fucking,
humor for sure, like, he starts off in the movie, he's, like, making a
if you
bunch
don't
of
turn
fat
that curry
jokes to
hole
this little
around the other
kid,
fucking way,
and then
yeah.
he goes into the Indian jokes with this kid, and, like, he just later
Dude, he
on in the
said,
movie when he starts pranking kids to, like, get them out, it's insane.
dude, he was like, if you don't turn that curry hole around and shut the fuck up, I'm gonna tell the pilot your bag's sticking. And when he said that, I was dead, bro. I could not stop. Like, when they start fighting on stage and he's like, oh, and you're violent. Oh, your boy Gandhi would be proud. Like, fucking holy shit, man. Like,
Yeah, it's insane.
it
It's
is insane,
insane.
man. He was 9 years old when he filmed this. He was
Okay.
1 year older than my son, which is wild to me. Um, but yeah, you're right. His parents had a big issue with a lot of the language in this film, and because of that, they almost pulled him out of the movie. But Jason swore and assured them that he would not be around when the worst of it was being filmed. And I actually read that the parents were pleased with it at the end, and they understood that he's going to get older and see this film anyway. So,
Yeah.
you know, but um, yeah, it was written by a complete unknown, Andrew Dodge. It had made the blacklist, Hollywood's blacklist, in 2007. For those that don't know, guys, basically the blacklist is just a whole bunch of screenplays that would potentially be big box office hits, but they just haven't been made yet. And Jason Bateman was on the set of Arrested Development and had read this script, and he said, "This is the movie I'm going to direct."
Yeah.
And uh, he casted himself uh as the main role, Guy Trilby, but he almost didn't. I
Yeah.
read somewhere where he was thinking about using Bill Burr. for this character.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
that kind of like,
I've got a list of, like, some of the possibles, and that I don't think showed up.
that was
No,
the
I've
first
got,
thing I read was
Will
this interview
Ferrell,
he gave.
Ed Helms, Jason Sudeikis, who was
Yeah.
just in Downsizing, and Rob Riggle were considered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I heard Jason, I read or I saw an interview and I read what was said, and Jason said that Bill Burr, but honestly, dude, Jason Bateman was the only one that could have done this character justice. Just his deliverance and how quick and the tone of everything he says, the pauses, and
yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff that was used in the film wasn't even necessarily written in the script. It was just the camera was on and he was going off being who he is. Um, and those that haven't seen Jason Bateman, dude, this guy is perfect at being an asshole. It's almost
Yeah.
like he was born to play an asshole. Like, and
That's
it's
fun.
funny, it's hilarious, and it really works.
Was I thought it was pleasantly surprising because it wasn't just about, when I gave the basic synopsis, it's not just about, like, having these scenes of, like, shock and awe with, like, cursing out little kids and stuff. Like, there's sort of this mystery that's threaded in, probably in the first third or halfway through about he's got some kind of motivation as to why he's doing this, but we haven't really figured it out. And by the end, you figure it out and, get a big payoff like with that.
It kind of makes you. That's when the audience is like, now I get it, and I totally understand this character now. Because before, no audience member with a real brain and a real heart is gonna be like, all right, this guy's doing it for something good, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But um, I chose this movie just because I thought it was bold as fuck. And it honestly didn't even get it almost didn't even get made, guys. Like, no studio would touch this at all. They actually ended up having to go through, hold on, I wrote it down, Darko Films or something like that. It
Yeah.
was the studio that did Donnie Darko
Yeah.
was the one that
I
jumped on
looked it
board
up
and
to
gave
see
him a
if there was
chance.
any kind of like thing, and it really wasn't. Like they were just looking for a production company, and this was who they happened to pick up. Um,
Right.
and
Um,
because I think I took that out of my notes, but I had written down some stuff about that because that was the first thing that had me curious. Like, why is this Darko Productions? But it works. Um,
well, it had to be them. They were the only ones that were willing uh to
which
produce
is
it, man.
shocking because I feel like 10 years earlier, and every studio would have been jumping all over this
I
movie.
feel
But
like now the studios would have jumped on it considering what's been hitting in the box
yeah,
office. But yeah, guys, so this it debuted at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 6th, 2013. I thought that was wild, a day after my birthday. And that was its big unveiling. And then the theatrical release was picked up by Focus Features, and it was given just a limited theatrical release. I think they only spent like 10 million and ended up making like 8, I think. And
yeah,
then it went to digital platforms, iTunes, Amazon, Blu-ray, etc. And later in 2014, but then later it cycled into Netflix, and that's when I first watched the film. And I'll never forget it, man. Sometimes people watch films and they'll never forget where they were watching it. They'll never forget the movie. They'll never forget where they were. Dude, like, I had to go out on the balcony and smoke a cigarette after watching that film, man. It was really because it goes from in the beginning, it's complete and utter comedy, like
yeah.
complete and utter comedy. And then it slowly peels back layers of this character and it shows you the humanity of him, like the essence of him, and he's truly a child himself, a broken child. And I think a lot of men in this country grow up with that child still inside them somewhere. and there's certain triggers and things that happen. And I just thought it was a beautiful film. It wasn't just a comedy to me.
Yeah.
It was they used vulgar language in a bold way to like they gave you the most misunderstood character, and then the audience truly understands him at the end. And
Yeah.
I think that for me in my life, like that's why I love this film so much. Was I've been and still am probably one of the most misunderstood in my family, amongst friends, any job I get. And it sucks sometimes because you wish people really knew who you were or why you are the way you are. And they did that in this film. They gave that character that, and I thought it was beautiful. I still think it's beautiful, and it's why I changed. I wanted to do this one.
Yeah.
Um, but
But it's
yeah,
cool
and
you're hitting me with all this stuff about it too, because I didn't even know about all that. So I'm really glad that like
dude,
it
it's
hit you like that.
there's some movies that like I truly believe like whatever the powers that be, God, Gandhi, whoever you praise, like I feel like they use film, they use these humans, these directors, these actors to change people's lives, man. I really truly believe that. I believe it for social media too, even though it's got a lot of negative thing around it. I believe, just like we were having that conversation before we went and saw Dogma, are people influenced by the devil? Are people influenced by a greater good like God? I truly believe film is one of the tools used by both the enemy and the God we all love. But um this one for sure, man. I mean, it it does something different. I mean, it's fucking hilarious. He says a lot of funny shit, don't get me wrong, like it's great. And you think this guy's an asshole, but then it peels back and you find out why. And it really shook me, man. It was like, damn, maybe that's why I be saying all this crazy fucked up shit, man. Maybe I need to go talk to somebody. But
I
yeah,
think
man. I
one
mean,
of the notes I had, like, and it's sort of a good time to bring it up, was like, as the movie was unfolding and we were learning different stuff, and he meets this kid who's basically alone at the hotel. His
right.
father's left him there.
And he doesn't have a good relationship with his father. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and like I thought, oh, I know what this movie is. This is one of those movies where there's like a grumpy guy, right? Or there's a guy who has issues, and then there's this kid who's really sweet, and he just wears him down. You know what I mean? He just wears him down till eventually they're gonna be friends, right?
right.
And it is that, but it's so much more. You
So
know,
much more.
it's so much more. Like it's funny. I actually had to like go into Chat GPT and ask my wife and just think about like what are other movies with this trope, because this is a thing. And what's funny is one of them was the one that this movie kept making me think of, which was Bad Santa. Uh, but also you've got westerns like True Grit. Both versions of True Grit have this theme going on. Gran Torino has a little bit of this theme going on.
I love that
Uh,
movie.
there's just, there's a few more that I wrote down, but basically I just wanted to bring that up because it is a cool thing that we've all probably seen. If you watch enough movies, we've all seen a few times a movie that does this, and some do it really well, and some you're like can see it coming from a mile away. Like this one, you could see it coming. If you watch movies, you're like, yeah, he's eventually gonna wear down Jason Bateman a little bit, and they'll be friends,
I
And
think I think he saw himself. I think that was what the movie was trying to portray, was like Jason Bateman saw a kid wanting to be loved and have another male presence in his life, like
yeah,
a friend. And that's dude, this movie fucked me up, man. Like, I mean, I remember the first time watching it, and I was telling the girl that I was with the next morning about it. Oh, I could not stop talking about it. I was
Yeah.
like, "You gotta see this film, like, it's fucking brilliant." Like, she's like, "Okay, like, look, you've been talking about it for an hour, like,
Yeah.
can we go home now?" Like, and I'm like,
She's like,
"Yeah,
"Start
yeah.
a podcast."
Yeah, right. Nah, I wish you would have told me that. Yeah, nah, nah, yeah, but yeah, guys, the movie almost didn't get made. It got picked up by Darko Entertainment because the only way it would have got made with these other studios is if they took a lot of the stuff out of the script, and Jason Bateman didn't want to do that. Um, the spelling bee scenes were real. I thought that was fucking crazy. So what I really thought was crazy was this. They
What do you
shot
mean they
this,
were real? Like, I
they
mean,
went to the real spelling bee. They had
oh, okay.
real, those kids were
So
really in
in
the spelling
between the
bee.
takes of doing the real spelling bee, he would shoot scenes with the real people and
Before
everything.
they started the real spelling bee, they would shoot those
Okay.
scenes. It took them 30 days to
That's
shoot this
crazy.
movie.
That's really cool, man. I had no idea about that. That's
So
really
yeah,
cool.
like they hired actual spelling bee kids for this film. And
Yeah.
like even one of the scenes where the kid's crying, that was him actually losing in the real competition. And Bateman used it in the movie because it was so well. Like he used it so well. Um, but yeah, like I thought that was cool. And then they used the same words that the actual spelling bees used. They went to the
Yeah.
same schools that they were filmed in. And yeah, I thought that was a really cool part because when you see this film and then you see that it was only done in 30 days, to me it made sense. Because I was like, well, that makes sense because there's really it's a hotel and then the spelling bee in maybe one other classroom, that was it, right? I
Yeah.
mean, so yeah, I thought that was cool to bring in, and the parents and everything, all the reactions when the adult Guy Trilby steps to the mic are real because nobody in the audience was there for the movie. They were there for the spelling bee. So when they saw the adult come up to actually spell a word, when you hear like the gasps of like, oh, well, what the fuck's he doing here? Like, that's real. That's
Oh,
like
wow. That's cool.
genuine.
I had
Yeah.
no idea. Like, I mean, they should have put that in, like, the IMDb trivia.
Right. Yeah.
You
Nah,
should go and
man.
add that. That's cool, man. I
Yeah,
had
man.
no
I
idea
mean,
about that.
we already talked about how Rowan Chan's his parents almost said no. Like Bateman, guys, Bateman had to go to their house and personally convince them to let. That's how bad he wanted uh Rowan to be in the film. Which I totally agree
And
with
that
him. He was
the
perfect.
the kid went on to do some pretty big stuff after that.
He did, man.
Like, he did Mowgli on Netflix, and he
Yep.
also did that,
And I
second
loved
Jumanji,
Mowgli.
Welcome to the Jungle. He was in that, and even though those aren't my favorite, that's a huge movie to be in.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, dude, fucking Mowgli was huge. I remember
yeah.
when that movie came out and God, how many Jungle Book fucking movies are we gonna have? I think we're on that's the fourth one that was made,
Yeah.
right? But
It's probably more than that, but yeah,
yeah.
it's up there.
It was good, man. They had a lot of good actors in this. I'll just shout them out right now just for cause. Catherine Hahn was in this, who dude,
Yeah.
I've had a crush on Catherine Hahn since I was 13 years old. She's the only woman that I could compare myself to. And it's never been about her looks for me. It's totally just been like Step Brothers, dude. When that scene where she's like, I just want to roll you up into a little ball and stick you in my vagina. Like, and she's just like going on about like, he's like, stupid, stupid, stupid. Ah, I hope he didn't hear us. Like, I just love her, man. She's so over the top, man. And she's brilliant. I loved her in this. A lot of her scenes in this movie weren't scripted. It was improvised fully, especially at the bar
Wow,
with Jason Bateman. Yeah, she's great, man. I mean, and a lot of the movies are that she's in are like that, where they just turn the
that's
camera
cool.
on and let her. Yeah, Allison Janney,
Yeah,
and I loved her in this. She
yes,
brought like this like dose of drama that the film really needed. This very serious woman in charge of the spelling bee, like,
yes.
and she's not taking no shit from nobody,
She puts her
uh
job on the line, basically, like,
and loses. Yeah, like
yeah,
fucking she tries to
yeah.
yeah, like what's it, Stormwall the tournament by giving them all these crazy word. What was the word for? Did you write that down? That big ass word that she gave him that nobody even knows.
Uh, the one, it's like, oh gosh,
It's crazy.
Syllopilification is at the end, but I can't remember like the full thing. But yeah, I had heard of that word before, but I had no idea what it meant. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
Allison Janney has been in a couple of films I liked as well. Juno and I, Tonya. I love I, Tonya.
You
It's a
liked
good movie.
Juno?
I mean,
I don't get the lore around
it's
Juno.
not a highly rewatchable film in my opinion. It's one we bought on DVD way back in the day when it came out, and we'll watch it maybe once every 5 years or so. It's not one
But
that I'm like,
why?
"Oh, I gotta pull out Juno." I think at the time, it would have been Michael Cera was definitely pulling me
Oh, he
in,
was huge.
and I mean,
He was huge. It was this
Elliot
movie.
Page, you
This
know,
movie came
this
out around the ending of the year of Knocked Up, Super Bad.
Yeah.
You know, like when all those stuffs are coming out. I've seen the movie twice. I just really don't understand why people love it so much. I think they
I
just
don't
love
understand why it's considered a comedy. Like,
right.
it's not
It's
really a
not funny.
comedy. It's
Like
not yeah. They
there's like 2, 3
promoted it and
funny
marketed
scenes.
it as a comedy, and it's really, I mean, if it's a comedy, it's a dark comedy. I mean,
Yeah.
but,
No,
um
it was a little different for me, but I just wanted to throw that in there. Trying to see.
you were going through some of the people, the actors, Philip Baker Hall, that
Yeah.
plays Jason Bateman's father in the movie. Spoiler
God.
alert. Uh, he's been in some great stuff, some Wes Anderson stuff, Magnolia, Boogie Nights. He's also
He's been
in
in
Rush Hour. You love Rush Hour, right?
I read that Philip Baker Hall was constantly falling asleep in between takes during this film, and when you see at the end, you see it in his eyes, like he's so tired, like,
Yeah.
and it worked
Well,
really
he
well.
Amy, my wife mentioned that too. She was just like, "He looks a little rough in this movie." Like,
Right.
he passed away, I think, in 2022, so
Oh,
it
wow, I didn't
was
know that.
I didn't write down the exact year. It
He
wasn't that
did.
long ago, but,
It was 22. You were right.
yeah. Um, so, yeah, I mean, that was 9 years before he passed away, and he was pretty old guy, so,
I remember,
you know.
read this thing where Jason Bateman walked up to him, he's like, "Hey, you gonna be alright to do the next scene?" He's like, I've been in this since before you were even a zygote." And I was like, "Damn."
Yeah.
Um, there's another woman in here I wanna shout out. Her name's Patricia Belcher. She plays the, hotel lady. She's hilarious. She's always got a small role in a lot of films we all know and love, and I think she's fucking hilarious, dude. Um,
Yes.
and, Michael
There's an
Patrick
actress at the beginning, Beth Grant. She's really good. I like her.
oh, yeah, yeah, she's fucking hilarious, man, with the
Yeah.
sweater. She's like, "Oh, we're doing insults now?
Yeah.
Well, we gotta get to that sweater that you got on right there looking like a fucking like a Folgers cup filter right there." I was like, "Damn." Called her out, man. Yeah, there was a lot of great, um, little cameos of just small roles and whatnot. Michael Patrick McGill, who was like a regular on the show, Shameless. He played
Okay.
the construction guy who was always at the bar. And I thought he was great. He just plays a Baron in this film, but um
I,
yeah,
um, I thought there was a funny little callback to one of our previous movies we did, Best in Show. In Best in Show, the Flex, played by, Catherine O'Hara and, Eugene Levy, when
right.
they go to the hotel, they have to stay in the closet, because their credit cards aren't working.
Right. Yeah, I
And
remember.
Jason Bateman has to do the
He
same
has to
thing in
stay in the
this movie.
closet too.
He has
Well,
to
they
stay
made
in
him sleep in the
the supply
closet.
closet, yeah. So, I
Yeah.
thought that was funny. I thought that was a funny little
Dude, that scene
thing.
where Shatanya calls the cops on him after he like burns his fucking book at the pool.
Yes.
Because he heard him talking to his dad about being his friend, but like you gotta take him down in the tournament. He comes, you fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. And I thought it was funny where he gets up and he's like, hold your tits, I'm coming. And the cops are like, oh shit, we gotta get in there right now. Like fucking like, I was like, oh my god, dude, that's so funny. Like, this movie was funny, guys. I mean, when you
the
watch
scene
it
with the prostitute is insane. Where he
dude,
goes and hires the prostitute. That's hilarious.
my favorite scene, and I'm gonna bring it up, was when he's approached by one of the moms in the diner when he's sitting with Shatanya.
Oh yeah.
And she walks up to him and she's like, you're an asshole. I just wanted to say, these children have worked hard and they deserve to be here and you don't. And Jason Bateman's character is like, well, I've worked really hard to be here too, madam. And da, da, da. She's like, yeah, you're an asshole. And he's like, that's a child. He points to Shaitan. He's like, that's a child. And coming from this character leading up to this point, it's just hilarious hearing him say that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I'm sure he's heard worse from you. And he goes, I don't speak like that in front of him. And then he goes, and I'm going to read it verbatim because I thought it was the most brilliant line in the whole entire script. He goes, why don't you take your potty mouth, go locate your preteen cocksucking son, and stuff him back up that old blown out sweat sock of a vagina and scoot off back to whatever shit kicking town you came from. And when he says that, her character pauses and just go like she cannot believe what she just heard, and she walks away. And I've done that so many times in my life, Jacob, where it's like you just don't want to talk to the person no more, and they're in your face about just you being you, and you just are you at a level of like 300, and it pauses them, and then they just walk away. I thought that shit was great. Another favorite line in this movie was when Shatanya goes, this soda pop is so delicious. And Guy Trowbridge smiles. He looks over at the kid. He's drunk too. And he goes, I'd just say soda. Otherwise, you're going to get raped. The shit, dude, the writing was brilliant. Andrew
Dodge.
For him being a complete nobody and writing this, you really saw the passion and the essence of being in that moment of creativity where it's just flowing out of your fucking mind onto paper. I thought it was brilliant. The script was brilliant. The plot was brilliant. The characters were brilliant. And the writing really backs it up, man. And the whole reason this movie got made was because Jason Bateman read those lines, read this script. He actually this was another cool thing I read. He had because he gets the script and he invites like a whole bunch of actors and directors and friends in the industry, and they have a sit down and they have a reading of the script. Everybody picks a character and they read the script, and he films it. And during like lines that I just read, he saw the reaction from these people, and that's what made the film, because he wanted the reaction. He like, what jokes were just so cruel they didn't really get too many laughs, like maybe one or two person laugh, but there's some stuff that when you read it and you said it out loud, everyone was laughing. And he said that was a key part in trying to like, because this was a hard movie to do. Like, I give Jason Bateman props because it's hard to
He goes right up to the line. I mean, for
Right.
sure. He
You
goes as ho
cannot dumb this character down, but you also have to make the audience love him. You
Yeah.
can't, but it has to be funny. You know, like I think they had this thing they said every day. I wrote that down too. But every day before Jason would go on, he's like, if it's not genuine and it's not funny, we reshoot it. And that's what he was trying to portray the whole time. And I thought that was just when I read that, I was like, he nails it. He nails
Yeah.
it too, because everything and every scene in this movie is either funny as fuck and you're dying laughing, or you're like you're feeling for that character. You're feeling for Han's character
Yeah.
when she's being vulnerable, and I mean, it's you feel
I think
for
he was the perfect actor for it, like you
he
said,
was.
because there's like, this is not to say anything disparaging about Will Ferrell, but, like, I just can't imagine this as a Will Ferrell movie. I think it's a completely different movie. Like,
I
I
will
feel like you get, like, almost like an Adam Sandler movie vibe if you cast somebody like Will Ferrell, where the comedy is too comedy, and then when you get to the heartfelt stuff near the end, it probably would feel a little too sappy, like, too thrown in, whereas here, it felt real because the Jason Bateman is not playing it for comedy. He's playing
he's
it
not.
straight. He's playing it straight. It's just funny because it's so over the top in some of these situations. Like it's really good.
It is. I mean, he even talked about the colors he wanted to use for this film, which I thought was a brilliant thing when I read it. Was he wanted the color of a like Lifetime movie, like a feel good movie, like just the darker greenish tones, and and it works. Like, even though, like, and there's not a lot of music in this film, it's more like percussion, like we were talking about earlier, and pauses, dramatic pauses after he says very pivotal lines, uh, even like shitty lines like the ones we were just reading. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was, for his first movie, brilliant, and it's got a huge cult following, guys. So if you haven't seen it, I mean, now's a perfect time. It's on Amazon for
I
free.
I think one thing we got to do because we always do it is just mention the IMDb. It had a 6.6, so that's pretty good for a comedy. I think this is a fair rating for this movie. Like
I think so
I
too. I
know
wish I would have saw a
I
7 though.
yeah, I know for you, you probably would rate it higher, but I think this is a good rating.
In my mind, just, and like, ratings are ratings, guys.
Yeah.
We don't really, we just like IMDb because it's user ratings, and it goes off of every rating that's been given for the film, regardless if it's a fucking kid who saw it, if it's a fucking old lady that saw it, if it's an actual critic that saw it. Like, they use every single review and give you a score. And I think that's how it needs to be. I think there's too many movies being hidden because of these renowned film critics, that they write one thing and a large portion of all audiences just immediately gives it the stiff arm because they read what's his name say something about it. But um I also read that at the International Toronto Film Festival, there were like a couple of folks that left 15 minutes into the movie because they just didn't like the language. And because of the laughter that's pouring out of the auditorium, they walked back in and they finished it, and they walked back out. And they were the ones that, of course, they're going to run up to them first and be like, "We saw you leave and you came back. How do you feel?" Um, and they said, they're probably going to have to watch it again. But it's, I think this is a kind of movie that would make any person, no matter who you are as a person, whether you're introverted, extroverted, whether you're outgoing, not outgoing, it makes everybody go and look at everything, as opposed to just seeing everything at face value and making your assumption right then and there. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's a good movie to show everybody's dealing with something and everybody is the way they are because of stuff that might not be so great, like might have been through something that you or anyone around you in your entire life's never been through. I thought it was, I mean, and to have a child involved in this too, like, and to incorporate like with him and his relationship with his father, and then the whole dark lore around parents and the spelling bee, especially when uh you know the spelling bee director and all the parents are in the office like shit. Yeah, how much fucking money I spend on lessons. I mean, it, it really is a good film, guys. I mean, and I just wanted to do this. I switched my pick for this just because we are going for like the most eclectic film list for this podcast. Even if we don't even get one more subscriber, we want to finish this with like a dope ass bookshelf of movies, guys. And although some people might watch this and be like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, I think anybody, if they truly watched it, you're not going to walk away with like, well, that was terrible. I don't know why anybody would make something like this, but yeah. So I think it's about time to get in that motherfucking hype train.
Hype train.
Hype fucking train. I got a good one. I actually picked one before the show this time, guys. Fucking yeah. Actually
you're not furiously searching right now going, oh,
right.
crap,
Yeah, no, I already know
train?
the movie. I already know the movie. And I'm gonna talk about it right now. Guys, January 30th, 2026. We got a new movie coming out with director Sam Raimi or Rami.
Okay.
Don't know if I'm saying
Raimi.
that right.
It's Raimi.
It's Raimi. Sam Raimi. If you don't know
he
who
did the
Sam,
Evil Dead movies. And
thank you. If you don't know who Sam Raimi, he didn't just he did Spider-Man too. Like, look, guys, if you don't know who Sam Raimi is, watch this show, subscribe to this show. We will help you. But he's got a new movie coming out, and it looks really interesting. And it's starring fucking Dylan O'Brien, who I love. I think Dylan's good. I loved him in The Maze, or I think that's what it's called. The Maze Runners is what it was called.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Maze Runners. That was a good one. But it's got Rachel McAdams in this film too. And it's called Send Help. And the synopsis is two colleagues become stranded on a deserted island, the only survivors of a plane crash. And on the island, they must overcome past grievances and work together to survive. But ultimately, it's a battle of wills and wits to make it out alive. And it looks fucking insane. Trailer's going to
be. It's the Sam Raimi. That's awesome, dude.
The trailers.
I hadn't even heard of that one, so you got me hyped on this one. I'm super excited.
I know you're going to go and see this film. I know this is right up your alley, right up you and Amy's alley. So I know when I saw the trailer, I just was like, yeah, dude. I instantly hyped, like instantly. It's just, the casting's very different. You don't get Rachel McAdams has not done a film like this, dude. I think the only other thing I can think of is that movie she did with Jason Bateman. And it wasn't that good. It was like Game Night or something, I think is what it was
we didn't
called.
mind Game Night. Yeah,
it was
we thought
okay.
That was interesting. Yeah.
It was okay. It wasn't the greatest shit you ever seen in your life, though. It was like, but yeah, no, that's like the closest movie to this I could see, like I could come up with. But again, the trailer, the synopsis doesn't do it justice, guys. Gonna leave that trailer down there for you. Check that fucking trailer out. I'm telling you, it looks really fucking good. I'm really excited about that one for sure.
That's awesome. And you said it comes out in January?
January 30, 2026. Yeah.
Nice. New year. Yeah, so mine is one I just saw a trailer for recently. And speaking of hype train, this movie's called Train Dreams.
Oh!
So it's November. It's one of those movies that's doing like the thing where It comes out in select theaters November 7th, and then November 21st, it's on Netflix.
Oh,
So,
okay.
they've done a few movies like that, Don't Look Up, some other movies. It's written and directed Yeah, it's written and directed by Clinton Bentley, who before this just directed a movie called Jockey in 2021. The basic IMDb plot's based on a Dennis Johnson's beloved novella Train Dreams is the moving portrait of Robert Grenier, a logger and railroad worker who leads a life of unexpected depth and beauty in the rapidly changing America of the early 20th century, if I can speak. Like you mentioned, the main, you know, dude in it is Joel Edgerton. He's playing Robert Grenier. He's a great actor. It's also
Joel
got
Egerton is amazing.
yeah,
He's been in a lot of freaky shit.
yeah.
I
He'll
love me
he'll
some
wear
Joel Egerton.
prosthetics and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
He's interesting. Felicity Jones, Carrie Condon, William H. Macy's in this. Gotta love some William H. Macy.
The homeless man. Yeah. Dude, I totally what's weird is Joel Egerton has been in a lot of Netflix uh what is
Originals, or
originals.
yeah.
And I wonder if Netflix like is if their studio has anything to do with that, like casting and
I
everything.
noticed there were a couple movies like that where I wondered the same thing because I was
It's
like,
like we're
like a
casting
lot
the
of their
same
shows
folks.
used like people
Right.
from Orange is the New Black. After that was a hit show, they put them in a lot of other stuff.
Well, we
So,
were
and
just
I
talking
don't
about
know
The
if that's
King.
unrelated or not. But
We were just talking about The King a couple episodes back. That's a Netflix original you said we had watched and liked. I think we were doing Perfume, and we brought
okay,
up King and how I was loving Netflix originals. Joel Edgerton's in that. He
yeah,
plays that's what I mean, like, it's I don't know. It's
yeah.
I wonder how that happens.
Also, that
It's just
movie with
curious.
was it Will Smith? The one where it was like there were fairies and there were cops. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah. That was,
Bright,
Bright.
that's what it was called. Yeah,
That movie was
okay.
weird.
If I couldn't think of it, people are just gonna be like, "What is he talking about?"
Did
Like,
you
yeah,
like
okay.
Bright? What did you think about Bright? I remember when it came
Typically, I
out.
don't movies like that I don't really like, but I sort of like it wasn't like, "Ooh, I love this," but I enjoyed it. I did
It was
enjoy it.
okay. Like, I'm not gonna say I hated watching it, like, it was a waste of time. It wasn't. It was good, but I feel like that was, like, Netflix because that's when the studio this was during COVID when that came out, like, the either the beginning of COVID, right before COVID started, or right before it ended, but I felt like Netflix was doing a lot of, what's the word I'm looking experimental releases, and Bright was definitely one of them. I feel
Yeah.
like Netflix has their own blacklist of like they got a mountain of scripts and they're just like, "You know what? Fuck it. This one we got Will Smith. Do
Yeah,
it. Let's
do
just
it.
do it." I don't think Will Smith would have done that, you know,
Yeah,
coming off
but
Independence Day, but
the main reason
whatever.
I'm hyped about this, just watching the trailer, you and I talked when we watched Cold Mountain about sometimes in Westerns, it's interesting. I think we talked about this in the Cold Mountain episode. If not, we've had this conversation in just regular life. It's interesting in Westerns watching people do normal life shit. Like, what
Right.
would they have actually done? How would they have dealt with life, right? And this trailer looks like a ton
Oh
of that.
yeah, I'm
It just
watching it right
shows them
now.
doing, like, lots of different stuff, and I'm just like, "Oh, this looks interesting." Like, I don't know why, but also, anytime there's a movie that, like, touches on when one era is changing over to another in, like, a drastic
Right.
way, like, and that's what this movie is, like, the railroad's coming, like, the world is about to change, and everything's gonna be different, like,
So it must be in the year 1899 or something like that, like
it's
when
yeah, I think it's in the late 1800s
yeah.
was, yeah, I believe so.
That's
It says
another
changing America in the earliest 20th century, so it'd be the early
yeah, that's when they
1900s on
were
this
that was
movie.
like they were on the last like outlaws, outlaws were being disbanded by the government. Nobody was, wasn't the wild, wild west anymore. There's more immigration.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, that was an interesting time period for America for sure.
Yeah.
And I enjoy films just like that too. I think that's why I enjoyed Perfume Story of a Murderer. Part of what you said, the production design, and when he was in those, when he goes to the other city and he's like learning the technique of I forget what it's called, but when
Yeah,
you're soaking the
enfleurage, yeah.
yeah, when you're soaking the flowers, you see how the flowers are all on piles and how they discard their trash and
Yeah.
just, where they're shitting and stuff, like, fucking dude, could you imagine our plumbing situation back in 1899? Like,
Yeah.
how many pipes did we run from toilets into, like, just a stream of water, or
Yeah.
like like, there had to be a lot of that shit going on, man, like,
Oh,
fucking
yeah. I mean, definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. All over the place.
That's just
Yeah.
some of the cool stuff that makes westerns great, man. I love it
Yeah.
when movies do that.
So it'll be interesting to see, and it's nice that, like, it's coming to Netflix right around Thanksgiving. It'll give me something to watch around Thanksgiving time. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, so guys, Mark mentioned it. We're trying to get more subscribers.
Yeah,
We're gonna
man.
pick what movies we want to do, no matter whether it gets us subscribers or not. But get somebody to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Watch the episodes. Put them on repeat if you're not using your phone.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Anything.
guys, we need subscribers. I mean, me and Jacob, we're gonna give this a big long shot, but we need the subscribers, man. We need those likes, need the shares, we need the engagement. Um, yeah, I would, dude. Me and Jacob were having a blast doing this, regardless of all that bullshit. Anyways, dude, when you told me how many people were listening to us on iTunes, I was kind of shocked. I was like, damn, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean,
so
iTunes, we've got a decent amount of regular
yeah,
listeners
yeah,
compared to.
I think it's gonna come, like, we're just gonna look, we're coming to you every fucking week. I don't give a fuck if
Yeah.
I mean, we only got one subscriber last week. We'd steadily been getting 4, 5, 6 every week, and then we just hit this fucking plateau. But I don't even give a fuck because um I love this. I love what we're doing here. I think it's different, and you know, we just want y'all to subscribe. Even if you don't watch us every fucking week, just hit the fucking subscribe button. Okay, it helps. All right, it fucking helps. But yeah, I mean, guys, dude, if you're listening to this with anybody that isn't fucking subscribed, make them subscribe, dude. Like, put your friendship on the line. See who's
Yeah.
fucking real. All right, who's really your friend. Okay, they like the same stuff as you. They do. Okay, won't you go subscribe to Flickin' Off? How about that? Yeah. Or otherwise, you can find another ride to work tomorrow. Well, I don't know. Next week, 12 a.m. Monday, we're going to hit you with another link. This is going to be our Halloween episode, if I'm not mistaken, right? This is going to be the
It
one.
will be. It will be.
So that's Jacob's link. Top right, guys. I mean, he's got fucking Jason Voorhees mask. So, he's going to be selecting. I think it's all, and it's so perfect that it ended up being your pick too, because I'm
Yeah.
not big on the holidays at all. But yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. And we love you. Keep watching, keep listening. Flicking off 12 a.m. every Monday. We're gonna come to you next week. But for now, guys,